Hello everybody, and welcome back to My Little Pony What Works. Oh boy, if there was an episode that could stir up even more controversy than the mysterious Mare-Noel, it would probably be episode 19 of season 2, Putting Your Hoof Down. This, I can safely say, is the most divisive episode of the entire show. Some absolutely love the episode to no end, calling it their favorite episode of season 2, if not the entire show. Others absolutely despise the episode, calling it the worst episode of season 2, if not of the entire series. As for me, I'm in the dislike category. But I don't hate the episode. Hell, it's not even on my top 10 worst episodes list. After all, it did accomplish what it was trying to do, teach Fluttershy to assert herself, but realizing she went too far. However, it came with a muddied moral, negative implications, and the staples of Meriwether Williams' Season 2 writing. Then again, maybe it actually could have worked. I mean, now we have 8 and Easy Bean Breezies, which ironically is more hated than this episode, but I can still see the episode succeeding. The set pieces of the story are there, it's just they went the opposite direction they should have gone. So, let's do this Josh Scorcher style as we take a look at how to fix Putting Your Hoof Down. Let's start with the opening scene. The initial setup we have is Fluttershy is feeding her animals. Angel gets pouty because he wants an exquisite salad to eat. Fluttershy tries to sway him and then gets bitch slapped for it. So, how do we fix it? First of all, have Fluttershy just prepare Angel's meal. The only problem is she's out of the ingredients. She mentions she hates going to the market, fearing she'll get swindled because of her determined nature. She then starts to panic, and then Angel slaps her back into reality. Now, instead of the opening scene we got, it's played more for comedy, and it doesn't make Angel look abusive. Instead, it makes him closer to his eventual Castlemania behavior. Bratty, but still cares for Fluttershy's well-being. Next, we have the marketplace. I actually don't have many problems with this scene. It shows she's a doormat, it has its comedic moments, and it gets the point across. I would change one or two things, however. So what do we fix? First, instead of Rarity using her charm on Poindexter here, change it to a generic-looking stallion. You'll get the point across of using her charms without the use of stereotypes. Second, the sales pony at the end. Before doing the moment where Fluttershy says she really needs the cherry, have Rarity or Pinkie Pie save her the trouble and buy the cherry for her. Have it be more of a hollow victory. She succeeds, but not of her own volition. Next, we have getting the pamphlet. Now all we have to do is play out the last scene fix. Originally, Fluttershy gets tossed out for not having all the ingredients for the salad. She hits the mailbox, finding the seminar pamphlet.
As Celestia is my witness, I'm never gonna be a pushover again!
Now, how do we fix it? Again, play it subtly or play it for laughs, so it doesn't involve the MLP version of Law & Order SVU. You can either have Angel get the pamphlet for her while she's monologuing to herself, or have the blind mail carrier miss the mailbox and stick it in her mouth while she's outside. Sort of like Twilight Ingredients in Your Color where she's trying to keep her mouth shut. Next we have the Minotaur in the maze. Act 2 of the episode begins with Fluttershy attending the seminar in the Minotaur maze. And by that I mean thrown to the back of the audience away from the stage. There, Ironwool teaches the crowd lessons in assertiveness.
Don't be shy, look him in the eye!
Of course it's ruined when Fluttershy has to go on stage as a volunteer to be taught how to be assertive.
Don't be sorry, be assertive! Never apologize when you can criticize!
So, how to fix it? First, tone down the Fluttershy abuse. We already established she's a doormat, so you don't need to reinforce it. Also, change the ending advice. Make the advice more vague or more situational. That way, when she manipulates the advice, for example, you apologize, I penalize, it comes across as she took the advice the wrong way. Oh, by the way, thanks to Mysterious Mr. Radiarc who helped me out with this bit. And after that, it's time to execute the advice. Fluttershy takes Ironwool's advice and puts it to practice. And it works like a charm. It works with the old stallion, it works with Bonbon and Lily, and it works with the cutting in line pony. There's only one thing I'd fix. And what's that? Take out the garbage pony scene. What to replace it with? I have no idea. Just make sure it doesn't ignore basic MLP lore. Like Pegasi can fly. Which leads us into going too far. After a stint at Sugar Cube Corner...
You laugh at me, I wrath at you!
Fluttershy takes the advice the wrong way to the point where she assaults tourists and postage workers. So, what do we fix here? Don't have Fluttershy get aggressive on a hair trigger. You can have her leave Sugar Cube Corner, assuring she won't have the lessons go to her head, then aggressively assault the taxi stealer. Everything else is fine to show she's going too far. Which leads us to the Berating Scene. You know it, I know it, so I think I'll just play the worst parts of it.
Things getting too complicated for your simple little brain, Pinkie Pie?
Whoa now.
Let's not let things descend into petty insults. Why not? I thought petty was what you're all about, Rarity.
Ouch.
I can't believe that the two most frivolous ponies in Ponyville are trying to tell new Fluttershy how to live her life when they are throwing their own lives away on pointless pursuits that no pony else gives a flying feather about!
That's it. She's going down.
Hold your horses there, Devil Crunk, and let's look at how to fix it. First things first, make sure Fluttershy feels remorse for her actions. That's the only thing that needs to remain constant. Now, we have two options to deal with this behavior. One option is to take out the scene entirely. You can still have Rarity and Pinkie Pie come by and call out Fluttershy for her actions, but skip the part where Flutter goes into bitch mode and instead cut back to the cottage with none of her animal friends around, realizing she's becoming a monster. This version plays it subtly. The other option is to keep the scene in, but change Rarity and Pinkie's reaction. Instead of the two reflecting heartbreak, have them reflect utter shock. Have them be in disbelief that Fluttershy of all ponies said those horrible things about them. In turn, make it so the reaction reflects the audience's reaction. Then, have the two ask Fluttershy if she really meant what she said, but Fluttershy doesn't realize what she said, being unconscious about it, also leading to realize she's becoming a monster. Blind Rage tends to do that. I know from experience. And thus we have the final scenes with Iron Will. In the final moments of the episode, Fluttershy shuns herself away from Ponyville. I assume for a very long time. Pinkie and Rarity come back telling her it's not her fault that she said those things, shifting the blame to Iron Will. Iron Will comes along to collect payment, but Fluttershy refused because she wasn't 100% satisfied. So, what to fix? First, establish that it's been a few days since the incident. It will make Rarity and Pinkie Pie visiting not as conscripted. Second, and most importantly, don't shift the blame! This is what killed the episode dead in its tracks. Yeah, it's not Fluttershy saying her friends' meanings in life were worthless. It's who gets guilted for the action. Initially, I was fine with everything that happened prior, but they screwed up the moral by putting the blame on Iron Will for giving her bad advice, even though Fluttershy manipulated his words into something worse. If the moral is about being assertive without going too far, it sort of defeats the purpose of the moral if you accuse someone else for your problems. Instead, have Iron Will come to collect payment, but have him act as a good guy, understanding the situation Fluttershy is in. Instead of demanding payment, offer an extra week free. After time has passed, have Fluttershy be 100% satisfied and deliver the moral to Iron Will, or vice versa, having Iron Will say it. Now, what I've come up with isn't perfect, and a lot of things will be cut for time purposes. After all, you have to fit the outline here into a 20-minute story, but it's honestly an improvement to what transpired. As I said before, I can't defend Putting Your Hoof Down as a good episode. However, I see the potential this episode had, so I really can't bring myself to hate it. And unlike Some Pony to Watch Over Me, it did try to teach a valuable moral despite its sloppy execution. Also made me laugh more. So, if Putting Your Hoof Down isn't on my least favorite episodes list, what is? Well, tune in next time as I give my updated top 10 worst episodes list. Until then, I'm the Voice of Reason, and I'll see you next time.